Then in the stack as I get to the program today, remember the name Joe DeGeneva, former Justice Department official. He was on cable TV regularly during the 90s, during the Clinton impeachment era, and his lovely and gracious wife, Victoria Tensing. Well, anyway, DeGeneva's out there today claiming that the FBI has so much evidence on Hillary, and they just keep gathering it, that it is overwhelming, that if Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, does not charge her, that there is going to be a revolt in the FBI and in parts of the Justice Department, because it will mean that politically protected political operatives and employees at the State Department and elsewhere can get away with trafficking in classified information. If Hillary Clinton is not charged, he says the evidence is overwhelming and that the FBI just is continuing to gather it. And he said it cannot fathom that she wouldn't be, given the weight of the evidence. And the only reason she might not be would be because of politics and Loretta Lynch and Obama running a DOJ and not wanting to do any damage to the Democrat Party by indicting Hillary. So I have that story coming up for you as the program unfolds. Some things from yesterday held over that I put right on the top of the yesterday stack. And you are listening to the most listened to radio talk show in America. This, the Rush Limbaugh program on the one and only Excellence in Broadcasting Network, coming to you from the distinguished and prestigious Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. Phone number, if you want to join us, 800-282-2882. And the email address is lrushbo@eibnet.com. I mentioned this earlier. Here are the details. Stories in the Washington Examiner. Former United States attorney thinks that Hillary Clinton could face a criminal indictment from the FBI within the next 60 days. Now, I want to say at the outset, we've been hearing this for months now. And I'm not opining here. I'm just sharing with you the latest thought on this from somebody who's actually been as close to this in a previous regime as you can be. Joe DeGeneva is the name. Republican U.S. attorney appointed by Ronaldus Magnus said that Hillary's biggest problem right now is the open FBI investigation into the contents of her private emails. DeGeneva said they have reached a critical mass in their investigation of the secretary and all of her senior staff. And he said it's going to come to a head maybe in the next 60 days. Now, James Comey is the FBI director. He has refused to answer any questions about when his agents will wrap up a months-long probe into whether Clinton and her staff mishandled classified information. There was another document dump of these emails on New Year's Eve. Maybe it was New Year's Day. Now, we're up now to, it's either 1,100 or 1,400, I don't remember the exact number, but it's over 1,000 emails with classified information that Mrs. Clinton was sending, receiving, trafficking in. And she can claim ignorance and that they weren't marked, but by definition, if she's receiving them, they're classified. And everybody, prior government experience, knows that that's standard operating procedure. Now, DeGeneva said that he believes the evidence that the FBI is compiling will be so compelling that unless the Attorney General agrees, there will be a massive revolt inside the FBI. If she doesn't charge, if what is her name, Loretta Lynch, if she doesn't charge, given the mountains of evidence the FBI is compiling, DeGeneva says there will be a massive revolt inside the FBI, which she will not be able to survive. Lynch. It'll be like Watergate. It'll be unbelievable, he said. The evidence against the Clinton staff and her is so overwhelming at this point that if, in fact, Loretta Lynch chooses not to charge Hillary, they will never be able to charge another federal employee ever with negligent handling of classified information. Further, he said the intelligence community will not stand for that. They will fight for indictment, and they're already in the process of gearing themselves to basically revolt if she refuses to bring charges. So, according to Digenova, we can read between the lines here, the FBI has compiled mountains of evidence that is deeply incriminating. And while this is happening, that there are real doubts and concerns within the DOJ that there will be no charges for whatever political reasons. If there are no charges, by the way, the purpose here obviously is to protect the Democrat Party. I mean, this is standard operating. It wouldn't even require any in-depth analysis. If Digenova is right, that there's this mountain of compelling evidence that is just conclusive as hell on her guilt. And if there are no charges, if the Obama Department of Justice does not charge her, it's clear the reason will be so as to not destroy the Democrat Party's presidential prospects in November. Pure and simple. And by the way, it's to the point now that employees inside the intelligence community and the DOJ are already getting ready for that thing. It's a legitimate possibility that the political concerns will overweigh the legal, and there'll be no charges. They're getting ready to revolt. So the takeaway from this has to be that if we trust that Digenova is informed to the degree that he is, knows what he's talking about, apparently the evidence is overwhelming. Now, as I say, we've been hearing this in one way or another since the summer. I mean, maybe even prior to that. And we've heard both sides that there won't be a charge. He's not going to charge, or that Obama's waiting for the right time because Obama does not want her to be. We've heard all of this. We've heard all this speculation, and the speculation has all been based on the fact that there is a lot of, and it's increasing in amount. They keep collecting it, evidence that Mrs. Clinton has broken the law. She's violated all kinds of security laws. A, with the existence of the private server. B, trafficking in classified emails. And by the way, folks, this does not even count what she has been doing with these emails. In addition to trafficking in classified data, look at the access that she's been selling. And we don't know if that's part of the evidence that's being collected. But all of these donations to the Bill and Hillary and Chelsea Clinton Crime Family Foundation, or whatever they call it, she's receiving tens of millions of dollars already from agents of foreign governments. Now, why? It's not because the Clintons are universally loved. And if you're some foreign despot, tin horn leader, you don't have to pay Bill Clinton to have sex during the Clinton Global Initiative. So they're not buying sex from the Clintons, although now they're buying access. They're buying it on the come, on the belief that Hillary is going to be the next president. When you have this amount of money being quote-unquote donated to a presidential candidate's foundation, it's a natural thing to start thinking about influence selling, influence buying. And when there's this kind of money going around and being donated, you have to start thinking of some of the darker aspects of it, such as bribery and blackmail and extortion as possibilities. And don't think that doesn't happen. Don't think that doesn't go on. Don't think that isn't attempted. Stakes are high in international relations. And when it all revolves, or a good part of it revolves around money, as most everything does in this world, high political, high finance worlds, the opportunity for dark, deceitful kind of trafficking is high. So whatever. We'll see. I don't know what a revolt would look like, and I don't know what kind of impact a revolt would have, because you can find inside the intelligence community, inside the DOJ, mounting evidence, but there's no charges. What would a revolt look like? But it wouldn't surprise me